Good morning, everyone. Hopefully my volume is good. If it is not, please let me know. We're testing a new headset here, so hopefully volume's okay. We will get going here in just a minute. Get the volume's good. Okay, it is 8:30. We still have some joining, but we are going to go ahead and dive in. Karma said I need a theme song. You know what? I do need a theme song. I will. I'll work on that. Um, I've gotta come up with one. So I will make that happen for next week. But this week, we absolutely need to talk about some very easy and simple ways for us to be able to market your listings as well as the brokerage listings, right? So the example I'm going to use today is Sandalwood only because it's an amazing project and it's available to every single person. So even for those of you that do not have listings, this is a listing that you could promote. It's the reason I did that morning post today. The daily post is kind of leading us into what we're going to talk about today. But also, I'm just really using this as an example. I think everything that we're about to go through today, you should be thinking about and perhaps doing on any listing you have. Now, thankfully, we're in a time period where a lot of the listings that you do get are selling very, very quickly, right? So a lot of things that we're doing, you don't even have that we're going to go through today. You may not even have time to do because if it's priced right, it tends to be selling super fast. But we all have those listings that do not, and there's always times where you have to do a little bit more work to get it sold. So these are things also beyond just the listing itself. What we're really doing when we promote these types of projects and really any listing is you're telling your sphere that even if they're not interested in this project, even if they're not interested in that listing, what they are interested is if you are real estate, right? So you're becoming real estate in their mind, and that is more important than anything. So whether the listing is kind of just the gateway, this project is kind of just the gateway into that mind share to say, hey, I'm in real estate. We've got cool projects. We've got cool listings. Think of me the next time, right? And I know this works because I share a lot of the same stuff that I've pushed out. And over the weekend, I get a message from a buddy who I went to school with, who now lives in Indiana. He said, hey, I've got a buddy of mine moving from Indiana to Tampa. Love to send him your way. And literally his words were, I don't even know if you're an agent, but I know you're in real estate. So I figured I'd send them your way. Right? That's exactly what we want. And I'm not an agent. So when I get that lead, we're going to refer that out to one of you guys, depending on where that person wants to live. But that's how this works, right? So it's that mind share. This is someone I haven't seen in 8, 9 years, but they follow my social content. Obviously, I've started to own that real estate portion in their brain. Tampa, real estate, they thought of me. That's the name of the game, right? So that's what we're going to go through here today. So let me share my screen. Okay, so let me check the chats real quick just to make sure we don't have anything. Okay, Someone's getting static. Hopefully that's not everyone. If you are, please let me know. Try and switch out. Okay. So we're going to start very, very basic here. And I'm going to go through. Okay, Ricky's getting static too. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to try and switch out the headset. Give me 1 second. All right. Hopefully this sound is better. Sorry, I had to switch out my headset there. Hopefully this sound is better for everyone and less static. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So we are going to start out very basic. And what I want to get across is everyone consumes, even yourself, right? We all consume social in a different way. Okay, so some of you are big time story consumers. Some of you are going to consume more content within your feed of all the different platforms, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, doesn't matter. So what we are going to do is put ourselves in the best position possible to have our content seen by as many people as possible. And so we can't discriminate where they consume. So we just need to be everywhere possible. And so what I'm going to commit to doing is when I send out that daily post, I'm going to start transferring that within each daily post that I send you, there's actually going to be 4 graphics, right? Obviously one with each logo, and then I'm going to duplicate those into an optimal size for stories. So I'm going to start sending you a story post every day as well. Now that content's going to be the same, but that's okay because you're going to have a lot of people who are going to view your story on Facebook and Instagram and not view really in the feed at all, and vice versa. So you can do the same thing though, and this is what I want to help you understand and easily replicate. So if I come to the design as an example, what we did today, right? So if I click on this, this was the graphic that I sent out this morning. I don't know why it did that. So hold on. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay. Hold on 1 second. It's getting weird. Let's fix this. I don't know why. Spacing got a little funky there. Okay. So this was the graphic that we sent out this morning. Now this is optimized for the Facebook feed. Okay. But we should use the same concept to also get views within our stories on Facebook and Instagram. And so for that, we just need it to be vertical. Now, yes, you could share your feed graphic as a story, but it looks weird. So instead, if I just come in Canva and click resize, I have the option to then come down and click Instagram story, copy and resize. And when I do that, it's going to take that same graphic, all the font, everything, and put it into a vertical format. And so when I do that, now if I drag it, I can easily drag my image.
I can move my logo, maybe make it a little bit bigger, center it, take the font again. I can resize it to my new vertical format. I want it down here a little bit. Same thing here, move this up a little bit, center it, and make this a little bit bigger. And now, in a matter of a minute, I was able to take very low volume. Okay, hold on 1 second. Is that any better? On the volume front. Getting complaints about volume in the chat. So. Is that better or worse? Let's see. I want to make sure everyone can hear. Any better? Volume. Sound is fine to me. Okay. So obviously some people are having some challenges, some are not. Okay, so we're going to continue. So as you can see, within a minute, we were able to take the feed, the post that I gave you this morning, and turn it into a story. So what does that mean? Well, what that means for a lot of us have no idea what I'm talking about. If I download this graphic now, download this graphic. Okay, perfect. So now I could go to Facebook. And if I click create a story, it's going to give me the option to upload, create a photo story. And I'm going to go to my downloads. There it is. Double click on it and boom. And see everything is optimized size-wise. So now I'm good to go and I can post this story. Okay. So that in itself, the reason that we want to do this, and we can add text if we wanted to on there, but we've already got it, right? And now I click share to story and I'm done. And it's going to share that as a story. So for those of you that don't consume that heavily, all of these up here are your stories, right? When you open up Facebook, you have all these quick little interactions, and it's usually they're on Facebook, they can go up to a minute, but most of the time they are 15 to 30 to 60 seconds, usually at max. But what I like about this is you have a lot of people, whether you do or not, you have a lot of people that only consume stories on these platforms. And so by creating this one post, I now have, if we think about what we've really done, if I have that Facebook feed that I sent you this morning and a story, and I put it in both of those placements on Facebook, and then I go to Instagram and I do the same thing. I post my story, that vertical as a story, and I post the other one in my feed of Instagram. And then I go to LinkedIn, and there is no LinkedIn story yet. They're coming out with that feature for everyone soon. And I put the feed in on LinkedIn. And then if you're big on Twitter, you put that feed post on Twitter. Think about the amount of people that you have reached in multiple places across multiple platforms, and literally it took 5 minutes for you to create 2 graphics. And reality is you're not going to have to create any graphic if you don't want to, because I'm going to do it every morning for you like I have been. Okay, but I want you to understand how easy this is so that if you get a listing, because I can't do this on every one of your listings, but if you got a listing and you were able to come into Canva and come in here and say, you know what, okay, I want to create a design. And I see a lot of you doing this, which is making me very happy. I see a lot of you kind of using Canva templates on some of your listings or just solds, and that is awesome. But what I am seeing a lot of is you're using the templates within the feed, right? So you're using this template, which is great start, right? It's better than nothing. But once you put in that work, right, then it's easy to take that and turn that into a story post as well. And there's no reason not to, because you're just going to get additional views and create a framework for you to be able to see, to have other people see it, right? So let's just, as an example, I just want to show you how quickly really this can be. So let's just say I like this template and I have a listing. So I'm going to use stock photos because I don't have any listing. But let's say you had a listing, you can upload your photos from your listing here. So I'm just going to search kitchen. We're going to pretend this is our listing, and this is going to take even longer because I actually have to search the photos. You will not. And I drag it over and I drop it where I want it. And again, we're just going to pretend like this is a listing. And so let's just use, oh, gotta get one of the pool course. It's a good listing. And we'll say this to the outside. And one in the master bedroom, perfect. And will you do a guest bedroom here? Perfect. Okay, you get the point. So we drag all of our photos in. I can change all the text. So maybe it was a just sold. 1 second. So maybe it was a just sold. We put just sold in there. If I want to change the color to be more within our brand standards, you can change the color. Okay. And 123 Street. And I can change all the font too. I'm not a huge fan of this font. So if, again, anything in here, guys, is completely customizable. So let's just say I want to make it a little bit more visible. I can come in here and change it to a different font. Drag it out so it's more visible. Ungroup this so that I can separate my text. And we don't need that, so we're going to delete that. Don't need that, so we're going to delete that. So maybe I put in the address, right? Just sold. And again, we can change this to be more visible. Perfect. 123 Street, and obviously you would put the real address in there. And whatever the feature was, in 5 days on the market. And so again, going to change the font real quick. And then we just need to resize it. So we're going to, right? So you see how easy this really is. And again, we can change all of this to be more within our brand guidelines. So maybe I do the dark gray here with this color font. And then here we come back to this. And just like that, maybe I want to add in the logo. So again, you can upload all your logos in. So all your logos could live right here. Okay. So I'm just going to use the B3 logo since it's here. And I could drag it down to the size I want. Put it in there. And if I like this post, now I click download and I have a post for the feed. Okay. Now, just like we did before, all I have to do is click resize, copy and resize, and it's going to take it and push it into a optimal feed size for our story feed, which we can then use in Facebook stories and Instagram stories. Okay. So now again, all I have to do is come in here and select it all and then drag it to the size, right, that I want. and I can resize it. I can do everything individually too if I wanted to. So now I could resize this, and I don't need to do it all at the same time. So if I wanted to just move this, I can move this down, right? I can move it. If I want to move all these around, I can do that. I can do anything I want, but now I've got it into my vertical format, and I could even come in here and just make this all one color, or maybe I want to make it a dark color, whatever you want to do. And I can add text, more text if I wanted, but now I've got it in my vertical format. Boom, download, and now I've got one for my stories too. So within minutes, guys, we can create content for literally every component within social, which is huge, right? It just gives us so much more flexibility and opportunity for other people to see our stuff. Okay, so that's one way we're going to promote it. Now, when it comes to our project specifically, don't know how many of you are using this or not, but we created the beachprojects.com for you to use and be able to push clients to, because there's no call to action buttons on this site. Okay, so as an example, if I do want to push using the post we did this morning for Sandalwood, Sandalwood is a cash flowing project. Okay, at the very least, your client is going to have a free beach house. It's going to at least pay for itself, and then by all the projections by third party, it should make a little bit of money too. Okay, but if we come to the beachprojects.com, this loads here. Give me a second, it's being a little slow today. You could send a client. So I could come in here and copy this link, right? Right click, copy it. And when I go to message someone, when I go to post it, I could put this link within my feed on Facebook or link out from my story if you have enough followers and send them here. And your client can come here and they can explore the project, right? This is actually giving them the ability to literally tour the entire Sandalwood project. They can go to the beach. It's really cool. We've iframed all of this in for you. Okay. So they can literally come to the back of the project, see what their view would be like. They can explore the whole thing virtually. They can go to the pool and they can literally explore the whole project. Then they can come down. All of the pertinent information that they would ever want, the rental agreement, rental projections, all of that stuff is all here for them. The operating budget of the condos, all the condo docs, they're all here. They can take a look at the different pictures. They can watch the new video, and they can even look at what units are for sale. So we now have 15 units that they can potentially buy from $390 all the way up to $500. And again, these aren't call to action buttons. If they do this, it's just going to bring them down to whatever section they said they want to explore. And you can see that right now we're only selling the Gulfront units. Okay. But they can learn a little bit more about it. They can click on it. They can see what that individual unit looks like. And there's nowhere for them to go. So if they want it, even in the contact us, just as the address, and that's for legality purposes. There's no phone number, there's no links, there's nothing that they can go. So you could send a client here, and the only way that they're going to get information is if they would like what they see, is to come back to you as the agent. Okay, so feel free to send them here. All of our projects are on here. So if I scroll back to the top here, I would like to cooperate. All of our projects are on here. So but if I wanted to share the Sandalwood, all I'd have to do is copy that. And then when I come to Facebook to create my post, so if I come to post the daily post that we did this morning, and I click it, I add in my image, right? And so let's just say I'm gonna just post the video, and I could link them here. Want a beachfront condo. this box out of my way, I can't see. Want a beachfront condo that pays for itself. Click here to learn more. And if I do this and link, then you're going to send them right there. So now I post it, and I'm going to have a nice video with a link to where they can go learn more about the project. Okay. And just like that, I could do the same thing in my story. And that is the whole purpose of this. So I want us to get in the habit of not just posting stuff in the feed, but also utilizing stories and really every aspect of these. Now, another thing we can do, if you wanted to, again, I'm going to speak to the project just because it's available for everyone and it's a great project that's attractive. So as an example, you could run Social Ad Engine on this, right? You could run leads for and drive them for Sandalwood. And I'll show you, we've been doing this for the last few days and we've had some pretty good results with it so far. So I've talked with a couple very interested people from a campaign that we're running. And so if we view this campaign here, you can see we've gotten 25 people so far, over 33, almost 3,400 impressions at $3.68 a lead. So you can imagine that in total, we're going to spend $149 on the campaign through tomorrow. And if one of these 25 decides that one of those units is the right thing, and I think we're actually going to get potentially 2, maybe even 3. If we do that, Joe, just once, the return on that $149 is pretty good, right? So these are just opportunities, and all we're running, guys, is Social Ad Engine. I didn't do anything crazy, right? This is literally the copy, and we're running the video. You have access to the video. Now, I've seen a couple of you download the video and use it. And so if you're not familiar how to do that, I'm going to walk you through that right now. So if you, and this goes for, let me X out of this. This goes for any of our videos. There's quite a few ways to do it. I'm going to show you a pretty easy way. So any of our videos, let's go back to our Beach Projects page where the video is hosted. So if you were to come here as an example, scroll down to the video. Did I miss it? Well, there it is. And if I click in the bottom right corner of this video, it's going to take me to YouTube. But it's going to take me to the video within YouTube. I'm going to pause this. And I need this URL right here. Okay, so right click, copy. Copy the URL. I'm going to go slow here because I want to make sure that if you rewatch this and you want to download the video, you can. Okay, so I right click, I copy the URL to the video. I can actually X out of the video because I don't need it anymore. Open a new tab. And we're going to go to a site called, let me find it here for you real quick. No, I'll give you the domain. There's a couple that I've used, but I want to give you this one. Vidpaul.com. And so when you come here, let me scroll down. We want to download videos. So we're going to click Online Video Downloader. And all I have to do now is paste that YouTube link. Oops, X out of that. And click Download. And you can see it's trying to download it. Oh, I entered the wrong link. I don't think so. Hold on. Make sure I entered the right one. Should be the right one. Let me make sure. post again, download. There it goes. And so here it is. And now all I have to do, let me X out of this. All I have to do is come down here, click download, and you're going to see it download right here. There it goes. And now I have the video on my computer. So vidpaul.com, click video downloader, and you're going to be able to download. And this works. The reason I want to show you this works for any YouTube video pretty much, but it certainly will work with any of our YouTube videos. So Jonathan, myself, anyone produces a video that you really, really like on any of the projects, anything like that you want to share, this is how you could actually download it. And the reason that's important is because now you have the video. You can share that video via Messenger. You can send that video out one-on-one. You could text that video. You could upload that video into your own feed, right? So that is super powerful. So to walk through that one more time, you're going to come to vidpaul.com, okay? And when you come here, you're going to have all these options, right? So you're going to come here, you're going to scroll down. Oh, sorry, went too far. You're going to scroll down, and we're going to go under download videos. We're going to go to online video downloader. And that will open up this box, and this is where you're going to paste your link, okay? When you do that, it's going to give you the ability, it'll bring you this screen. Now this one you got to pay for, right? 4K. Doesn't really matter because YouTube condenses a lot of it to anyways. So then you're going to do download on 720, and it will be just as high quality, I promise. Most people won't be able to tell. A lot of people still don't even have 4K devices. So 720 will be fine. Download that. It's free, and it will work perfectly, okay? So this, again, guys, will work with pretty much any YouTube video, but especially any of ours. So now we have the video. Again, I would take that video and I would then utilize that in your feed, but utilizing stories as well with the other content that you're either creating that we're sending out every morning. Take that content, use that in your stories as well, because if I can hit them in both, then we're going to be in good shape, because now I'm going to reach literally 3 to 4 times the amount of people if I do that in Facebook, Instagram stories, and Facebook stories. So that's really what I want to get across today, is leveraging these platforms, because you'll be shocked, especially on stories. I would be willing to bet that if most of you who are not leveraging your stories now leverage stories a little bit more, you're going to get double the amount of views on your stories that you get in your feed. It's that big of a deal. It's just been pretty complicated to get things optimized for it, unless you're shooting specifically for stories. Canva recently released the ability to just copy, and it's free now, to just copy and resize, which has made it so much easier. So I haven't pushed stories as heavily as I probably should have, only because it was more complicated for you guys to create content for it. Especially for a lot of our agents do use it, but they're shooting with their video, with their phone specifically for it. Now you have the ability to really do anything that you want. So if you have questions, put in the chat. I see Vicky just asked a question. So the morning post cannot be used in our Facebook story without using Canva. No, it can, Vicky. But the problem is, so what I'm going to start doing is I will start giving you 2 posts in the morning. One is going to be optimized for your feed, and then you will see a vertical one that will be optimized for story. I will do it for you on the daily post, right? So you're going to get that from me starting tomorrow. I will do it in both optimizations for you. My point is that if you have a listing that you want to do and promote, and you're using Canva, rather than just creating a post for your listing in Canva for the feed, I would also, once you do that, just hit copy and resize and do it for your story as well. So I wanted to show you how to do it yourself so that you can do it on any other post that you want to do it on, right? I'm only going to do the daily post, which isn't going to be about your listing in particular. So I wanted to make sure you guys understand how to do it. So I hope that answers your question. Now, technically, you can use the feed post that I did this morning in your story, it just looks a little off because it's optimized, for the feed, not vertical. So, any other questions? Let's see. Lauren put something in the chat. Facebook gives you the option to post on newsfeed and story. Are you talking about Instagram for the best optimization? So keep in mind, Lauren, and this is a valid question. So she's saying Facebook gives you the option to post on newsfeed and story. Instagram will do the same thing. The problem is that it's not optimized size-wise. So if you will notice, and we're getting into a little bit of the nuances, but if I were to post something that is optimized where it's taking up the entire vertical aspect of the story versus you posting something that clearly was not made for story that's just in there, I'm going to get more views just because it's optimized for that section of the platform, right? People like it better, it looks cleaner, and they will tend to consume it more, and you're going to get rewarded by the algorithm a little bit more. So my suggestion is, rather than sitting there and posting, it's the same kind of concept when someone posts, the same thing on Instagram and automatically posts it to Facebook or vice versa. Two different platforms, they should be treated a little bit differently, right? So the image can still work, the copy can still work, but I'm going to add in more hashtags on Instagram that I'm going to use on Facebook. So I need to take the time to do that if I want to get optimal results. Same thing with the feeds. If I want to post something in my feed versus in story, I'm going to get better response if I take the time to make a vertical post in my story and a horizontal post in my feed. So just two different things. And so Vicky asked, do the story platform for Sandalwood. I will absolutely send that out. Vicky, the post I just made for Sandalwood for story, I will send that out to everyone right now after this meeting. Any other questions before we jump off? I don't want to be respectful of everyone's time. We're trying to keep these to 30 to 45 minutes versus an hour. So I do want to respect everyone's time this morning and let you guys all get to work. I know you're busy. I'm going to do another plug though, real quick. If you have not done so and you want to tell your story, please follow the link in the app. That's under the app. You'll see a section called Join the Happy Agent Podcast. It's also on be3agents.com. Guys, I don't care if you're brand new. I don't care if you're brand new to us. I don't care if you're brand new to the industry. I don't care if you've been in the industry 100 years. We want to hear your story. And I know some agents maybe got mad when we said we were going to go outside to other agents. That's not a slap in your face at all. We have a lot of agents that have supported us and followed our content for a while. We want to reward them too. This is not a, hey, you're not doing it, so we're going to go here. Now, with that said, we do need guests on the podcast. So if you are not willing to tell your story, and we don't have enough agents that are willing to tell their story, and we do have quite a few of you scheduled, but if you have not scheduled it and you want to be on it, please join it. Okay, go click that button, select a time, and join us on the podcast. We want to hear your story, and more importantly, so do others. And it's a great opportunity and a great marketing piece for you to be able to share and kind of share your story with your sphere, who a lot of them will not know a lot of things that we're going to discuss on that podcast. It's conversational, it's recorded, it's not live. So if you absolutely hate it at the end of it, we don't ever have to play it. But I would highly encourage you to at least, sign up, let us tell your story, or let you tell your story, but let us give you the platform to do it. So please, if you're interested at all, go check that out, sign up, pick a time. And if there's no other questions, I'm here for you guys. Anything you need, feel free to reach out. I will send the story post out for today for the Sandalwood, and I will also continue to do that now, moving forward every morning. So have a great rest of your week, guys, and we will see each other next week. Thank you.